Today we've got an old school top 10 best Easter eggs video for you. We've actually got the 10 best Easter eggs in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, if you are a fan of the channel, you will know that I cover most of these Easter eggs in my official Red Dead Redemption 2 Easter egg guide, but that guide consists of 4 videos and hundreds of Easter eggs. So I've condensed down the 10 best ones so far that I just think are the absolute coolest in the game. And as an old school gamer, these Easter eggs that I feature in this video, the reason I consider them the best is they give me that old school vibe from old games from the late 90s and early 2000s that just had these really cool Easter eggs in them, some of them hidden in plain sight, some of them major, some of them minor. So that's the whole premise of this video. If y'all enjoy and somehow find out about at least one brand new Easter egg in Red Dead Redemption 2 that you didn't previously know about, well, hopefully I can earn your thumbs up and your subscription. And also, be sure to let me know down below in the comments, what is your favorite Easter egg in Red Dead Redemption 2? Number 10, the Mutant, or the Man-Bear-Pig. Just outside of Annesburg, we can find a house, and the only way into this house is by climbing up onto the roof. And we can climb through a window, and inside we're going to make a very grim discovery. It's some sort of evil scientist lab, and this man is just... he's making some crazy things. On a table, we can find a skeleton of Siamese or conjoined twins. We can find a bunch of, like, mutated alligator heads, different things like that. But the main attraction in this weird room, well, is this giant, towering above us, 7-foot-tall mutant, comprised of a pig head, a bear body, tusks, horns, lots of arms and legs, crazy stuff going on here. And when I think of this, or when I see this, I think of the Rat Man from GTA 4. This is what I picture him looking like. But we know this isn't the Rat Man. This is just some sort of thing. And it's very interesting. It's very gruesome, very grim, and it makes you wonder who in the world put this thing together. Number 9, the UFO. Now, there are 2 UFOs so far in Red Dead Redemption 2, but the first one is actually one that can be found near Emerald Ranch. And what I love about this UFO is it really just gives me that old school vibe from them older games where there was just these really cool dynamic Easter eggs much like this one. So we go into this old shack, and the shack in and of itself is actually an Easter egg referencing the Heaven's Gate cult, which they all killed themselves wearing matching Nike shoes on bunk beds with blankets covering them up. And, well, inside this shack we can find bunk beds. Everybody's wearing matching shoes, and they're covered up with blankets. And in the middle, there is this kind of like alchemist table, or this chemistry set, and there is a man sitting in the chair, and it's just his skeletal remains. But we can pick up a letter titled The Mysterious Sermon. It's a very interesting read. But if we actually come back to this location around 12 to 3 in the morning and look up in the sky, well, a UFO is going to be hovering right above us with a green light beaming down on us. And, well, like I said at the beginning of this, it just doesn't get any better than UFOs and aliens. And it makes you wonder, is there any more aside from the second one at Mount Shan in Red Dead Redemption 2? Number 8, Call the Snake from the Jungle Book. Now, he can actually be found in the swamps of Lemoyne, and he is one of the many different Easter eggs and secrets hidden in the swamps of Lemoyne. But this is by far one of the coolest. This just giant orange snake that somehow got himself stuck up in the tree and somehow died. And it makes you wonder, how did this snake die? Did somebody kill it and leave him here? Did he just... I don't know. But this is a really cool Easter egg, being the fact that it's just a giant snake, and snakes are scary. But if you are on your horse, what's cool about this is that the snake isn't just this like frozen solid object. You can kind of hit its head or shoot it and it'll go flopping around. So helicopter mode. But overall, this is just a really cool Easter egg that can be found in the swamps of Lemoyne. Number 7, out in the middle of nowhere in West Elizabeth, under a bridge, we can actually find a crate that's been halfway broken off, and inside this crate, there is a statue of a gorilla, R.I.P. Harambe. And what's cool about this one, in my opinion, is it's just this little subtle Easter egg out in the middle of nowhere that you won't know about unless you just happen to be exploring. And in the time frame that Red Dead Redemption 2 takes place, freak shows, circuses, and carnivals were very prevalent in America. And my guess is that this was part of some sort of circus wagon. It fell off the back, and it landed under this bridge. That's why the crate is busted open, and that's why it's inevitably just down here. Somebody didn't realize the crate fell out until it was too late. So just under this bridge, out in the middle of nowhere, we can find a statue of a gorilla. Number 6, after completing the side quest, The Noblest of Men and a Woman, we can actually obtain a very rare weapon that can only be found after completing this side quest, and it is a revolver, but it's got a very interesting inscription on the barrel, and it actually says Canis Canem Edit. And for those of you who don't know what the Canis Canem Edit is, well, that's the name of Bully, one of Rockstar's very popular games in PAL or PAL regions. It's the Bully Canis Canem Edit, which means dog eat dog in Latin. But one of my favorite things that Rockstar Games likes to do in their games is actually put Easter eggs in one of their games referencing one of their older games, and that's what they've done here, and I think it's a very nice subtle Easter egg and a very cool reference. Number 5, the Donkey Lady. Now, for those of you who've never played Red Dead Redemption 1, you probably didn't pick up on this one right off the bat like myself and a lot of others did, but in New Austin, after we complete the game, we can come across this old rundown, burnt down farm just outside of Armadillo, and on this farm, aside from the burnt down remains of houses and farm stuff, well, we can actually find a lady wearing a skirt, and she's got a donkey skull for a head. And it's a very weird, gruesome, just kind of creepy scene. And if you've never played Red Dead Redemption 1, like I said, you won't understand this, but it's actually a reference to one of the most famous glitches in Red Dead Redemption 1, which is the Donkey Lady glitch, where we can hop on a lady's shoulder and ride her around like a donkey. And Rockstar took note of that, and it's so cool when they do this. They literally turn a popular glitch and YouTube video into an Easter egg in Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's exactly what this Donkey Lady Easter egg is. Number 4, the Witch Cauldron. We can actually come across this witch's hideout in Amberino, and this is a very creepy scene. If you want to make it even creepier, go here at night instead of in the daytime, but we're going to come across this interesting little hut or this little hideout, and one of the key features here, aside from there being things on the table, candles, and nobody else around, is this giant cauldron. And upon getting closer to the cauldron, you can find out that you can actually take a drink from it, and it wouldn't be the smartest thing to do to come across a cauldron at nighttime in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods, with nobody around. And it wouldn't be smart to take a drink of that at all. But we do have the option to do this. If we take a drink out of this cauldron, well, we're all of a sudden going to get very disoriented. Then we're going to pass out. Then we're going to wake up a few hours later just outside of this camp in a random location. And like I said, it's very creepy, very weird, but also a very cool Easter egg. Number 3, Bigfoot in the mountains. Near the top of Mount Sham, we can actually find the skeletal remains of a giant. Now, this can be up to your own interpretation whether this is Bigfoot or a giant, but a giant is going to have a Bigfoot, so we're calling him Bigfoot. And unfortunately, this isn't Bigfoot from Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, this furry beast that is alive. This is the skeletal remains, of course, but it's very cool. These giant skeletal remains, it makes you wonder, why are they here? How did this thing die? And was it a giant human? Or was it an actual Bigfoot or a Sasquatch? I'm not sure, but it is a very interesting Easter egg. Number 2, the Ghost Train. Near the western border of Lemoyne, we can actually find between 12 and 4 a.m. a ghost train that is going to come riding down the tracks, and then it's going to disappear. I like this one just because it doesn't get any better than ghosts and things like that. And one interesting thing I saw when going back and reviewing my footage is that the option to jump onto the ghost train briefly appeared on my screen, and literally in the blink of an eye, it was gone. So it makes me wonder, can you jump on the ghost train, and what would happen if you tried? And number 1, at the fence in Saint Denis, we can actually come across a green mask on the shelf behind the owner. And what's cool about this is that this green jaded mask is a direct reference to Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. And Rockstar loves to throw little things like this in the game, and it's awesome to see them referencing their previous games in a series. And with this green mask, it is cool. It seems that it might be hinting at maybe a future Red Dead Redemption 2 Undead Nightmare DLC. We don't know 100%, but this mystery with this mask gets even bigger. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this. I'm working on a separate video for that right now. But for the time being, that is 10 of the best Easter eggs in Red Dead Redemption 2, in my opinion. If y'all enjoyed this video and learned about one brand new Easter egg in Red Dead Redemption 2, well, hopefully I can earn your thumbs up and your subscription. But with that said, I am Zach Cox. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope to see ya in the next video.